you cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. We coolin' out. You cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. We coolin' out.
Yo, this is Rel.
Kev.
So we're doing a special once a month. We're gonna do these special episodes. We collaborated with a good friend of ours, a good brand over at Labor, and essentially once a month they have these.
And
themes.
maybe more.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how I like them. Yeah. But no, so they have these themes every month, and we're gonna essentially take a current topic in sports, culture, hip hop, everything that we do, and just try to tie it into whatever that month's theme is. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Mm-hmm. This month the theme is adversity.
Yes.
Kev, you go proceed.
Yes, I pitched to stay current with this month's theme. Yesterday or the day before, this would be the 20th, the Forbes released wealthiest celebrities list and tied it at fifth at $900 million apiece with Jay-Z and Kylie Jenner. Mm-hmm. Kylie Jenner is 21 years old. Jay-Z, I believe, is 49 years old. Mm-hmm. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about just to highlight, and I don't speak in absolutes. These are no absolutes, but a lot of what you see, how much blacks and minorities have to go through versus white people.
Yeah.
And again,
to achieve those heights.
To achieve such heights.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I just wanted to dive in there. Kylie Jenner owns Kylie Cosmetics. She has endorsements, deals, and stuff, but the majority of her money comes from her cosmetics company. Jay-Z, on the other hand, was a musician for over 20 years, owns owns Champagne, owns Douce, has stake in Tidal, in Rock Nation, in 40/40, and that's another
a lot of things. Yeah.
A lot of things.
A lot of things
to accumulate this wealth. And I just thought it'd be fascinating to talk about.
Yeah, no, I mean it is a great topic, especially dealing with adversity. I think even so, you look at it at a large scale, mm-hmm. like how long it takes, a minority to reach those heights, to mm-hmm. get to that 900 million. If you think about it, most of our idols who have eclipsed, who have gotten to that point, mm-hmm. are older. You got the Diddy's, the Dr. Dre's of the world, the Jay-Z's, right? Oprah, yeah. But Oprah's, she got there pretty quickly, but she also was a phenomenon.
How old was she
when her show was popping?
No, when she became a billionaire.
Oh, I have no idea. I feel like
I'm talking.
She was a billionaire in the 90s, though.
How old is Oprah now?
She's like 63, I think. So probably
she was in her 40s.
Yeah, like early.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but so I don't know. That might dive too deep into that. Because that was also a different time, the 90s versus 2018, how we consume things.
How many young 500 million billionaires do you see that are black, Hispanic?
Oh, almost none. But that's my point. It's like there's multiple ways we could attack this from mm-hmm. societal, mm-hmm. like the way we think about ourselves, the way we view ourselves, and the sense that we don't take risk. Mm-hmm. We just had a talk last night with Carl and Ray about this. Like, we don't take any risks. Like, society tells us we shouldn't take risks. Mm-hmm. We feel like there's things that we can't do. We don't try to do. We're afraid to take risks. Mm-hmm. But then also, me and you had a conversation last week about how, us being probably the most successful people in our families, I would say. Yeah. And how we have to constantly give back, whereas a lot of...
And that pulls you down the ladder.
Of course.
Like, trying to climb. It slows down.
It slows down the progression.
Yes, to the top.
Yeah, so there's like, for example, in my life, there's a lot of kids who, same age as me, probably make the same as me, mm-hmm. but they live freer because you don't have student loans. You don't have to... give any money back to your family.
And in some cases, you still get financial help
from your family. Exactly. So
I should highlight.
Go ahead.
Just to highlight, these aren't complaints. These are realities that the majority of people our age face. Yes. I think we should highlight that as well.
Yes.
These are common realities, and sure, give or take, some situations are difficult, but the majority of people African American men, minority in general at this age, face these realities.
Yes, and that's I think that's extremely fair to say that like in order what they say you gotta. Chris Rock had a joke back in the 90s, and he was saying how he lives in New Jersey, this very wealthy area code, and how on his block, like whatever, Jay-Z owns a house, Mary J. Blige owns a house, and then right next door to him is a dentist, just like a regular white dentist. And he was saying how black people have to run and be super fast to get things that a white man can just walk to. And I remember being young, and that like spoke to me, that resonated with me. And the older I get, the more I understand that. Like we really got to work twice as hard to get half as much.
Yeah, and that's why we pinpointed this specific example, because I don't think anything highlights that more, because not taking anything away from anyone, you got to work hard just to achieve. Like Kylie Jenner has her own cosmetics company,
and shouts to her, because that's you built something from the ground up, and you got 100% ownership, which a lot of people don't do.
Yes, without question. You guys have the infrastructure and all that, without question. But it just highlights, given from the family she came from, you might have access to more. You come in with money, and you have access. Like, it's not common knowledge even how to do these things. And you might have a better infrastructure around you to help you achieve these things.
That's a great point. Because when we were talking off wax, I was looking at it from the other side. Remember, I made that point, but I was making that point more so like I don't really understand why this would be a topic for adversity.
Yeah.
But when I made that point, I didn't look at it that way. Like, Kylie's 21, and because she had some people before her to pave the way, Cam, Chloe, Chris, her mother is like a fucking business, magnet. You had these people, so you're 21, you walk in with all of that knowledge. I'm sure that Chris and all them made mistakes along the way. I'm sure Kim wished she got 100% stake ownership in something that she started. And they're like, yo, you do that. Look up, you $900 million in. Yeah. Whereas Jay-Z comes from the streets, used to sell drugs. And like, he's literally learning as he goes along. And he's damn near almost 50 now just to get to 900 million.
And he paved the way.
Yeah.
In a lot of respects. Partnering with Def Jam versus just signing with them outright. Stressing to own your masters because he realizes the importance of that. Starting Tidal to further enhance that message. Like, the people that signed in, remember when they did the whole trailer, it's a room full of artists. Him, Kanye, J. Cole on the stage, numerous artists, Madonna, whatnot. They all have stake in the company because he realizes, and what he's been preaching for years is that these labels rob you and whatnot. Know your worth, pretty much, without going too deep. But then he had to navigate that because you know how many stones were thrown, how much flack you have to take. And those are pretty adverse conditions because you're just navigating on a road that you have a destination in mind, but you don't really know if your route is the best, if your method's the best. You just got to figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. Yeah,
no, and like specifically in the music industry, I'm always like surprised when I find out like how, and I don't want to sound like, I'm so like ignorant to people's struggles. I know there's people out here struggling who don't have like dollars to their name, and trust me, I'm sympathetic to that. I empathize with you. But like, for example, someone like Drake, for example, right? Who's been tearing up the charts, breaking streaming records, 10 years now? Like, just been in the game, on the top of the game, like dominating the game. $100 million. And it sounds like a shit ton of money, but if you think about how much money was taken from him,
how much people
how much money people made off of him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he should be worth like 500 or somewhere along, something that you would think would be more reasonable. Like, when I see that number next to when I Google his net worth, I'm like, that's not really that much given everything that he's done.
You have Apple reportedly signing you to a $20 million contract. And with these, when they give you all this money, companies in general, you got to always think like how much they can. If I'll give you $20 million up front, he has broken the streams record repeatedly. You know how much listeners he's bought, and they've quadruple that money, And that just goes back to what you're saying with Jay-Z, because he started as a musician. And he had to know that this rap only goes so far.
Yeah.
I got to dive in and, invest your money, yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta like pay. I gotta start my own stuff. Start
he's
my
been
own
preaching that for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think just want to double down. Like, this is not a complaint.
No,
it's really just like
to highlight. You know, a lot of the issues that I feel a lot of minorities have to deal with, like to get to like what people would even consider success. And you know, success is a subjective thing. Like, you know, everyone has their own idea of what success is. But if it's anything as far as like accomplishing like major goals or hitting any like major financial targets, that comes just overall, that comes with way more stress, way more hurdles, way more adversity if you're a minority. Yeah.
If you're a minority, the odds are way higher that your path is going to be way more difficult. Just to get half.
Yeah.
Like to break into just like the smallest piece of the pie.
Maybe,
yeah, to get a crumb. It's hard. It's way more difficult. And I mean, I think something I was telling you off wax also is like, you know, as this generation builds, then we set the path for the next generation, like our kids, to be good. But by that time, the next generation of you know, white kids, they're good too. Like they're in a way better position. It's like, yo, if I put you here and you have a 400-year advantage, head start, then you're gonna always be ahead. And it takes a lot. Like if you think about, like, you look at the Forbes billionaires list, right?
Yeah.
None. Oprah. And I think there's like one guy from Nigeria, a few like Africans, but for the most part, none. And if you look at most of those billionaires outside of like the Zuckerbergs of the world, the Bezos, the Walmart family. Well, even the Walmart family, they inherited that. Yeah. So excuse them. Sorry. Outside of the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Bezos, most of those people like grew into wealthy families, and props to them because they accumulated that wealth. But they were born into a wealthy family, and you just keep growing. And I think in America, which is crazy, this capitalistic society, like I think the top 1% control like 80% of the wealth, some nonsense like that. I forget the exact figures, but I know it's something like that. And of course you do. You had a head start. So for us to be like biting away at crumbs and hoping that one day it'll get better, I mean, I'm sure it'll get better, but it just won't be during our lifetime when we have to. I think it's going to be a continuous cycle, and it's just something that I thought would be, we should definitely, I'm glad you brought this topic up. We should definitely highlight this for adversity because it's what's going on right now.
Yeah, I guess in closing, pretty much the most successful rapper we've ever seen, it's either he or Dr. Dre or Diddy. Last year, all his investments, he made $90 million. Who knows what came from investments and ownership, but he also went on tour, so he's still working.
Sheesh.
He went on tour with Beyonce, and he released an album. Of course, you don't need to do these things, but it's money that factored into that $90 million versus, you know, how much money comes in Kylie Cosmetics just because it's just wildly popular, and, you know, so it's just something to highlight.
Yeah.
You know, salute everyone, Jay-Z, Kylie, it's hard work regardless. Like, that is a number you don't just hit regardless of where you come from, unless you're mega wealthy, you know? Yeah.
And this is another, we can go on for days about this, but I'm going to try to keep it brief. Like, the most successful black people that we're the most aware of are in entertainment or sports.
Yeah.
Whereas the majority of white people become rich in business, real estate, all of that stuff. I just thought I'm gonna just let that linger out. I'm gonna let that one just drop out there and marinate. Yeah. Like, our idols are musicians or athletes.
Yep.
And that's what that's who we look up to. Like, yo, this is, you know, it's crazy that Jay-Z is making $900 million, but realistically, to a lot of people out in the world, that's nothing.
And then when you factor in cultural influence and should be worth more, but that's just the life we live. I think in closing, we just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah.
As you know, first vid in this series, you know.
Yeah, that's
hope
dope.
You guys found enlightening, and it's just our thoughts. And
I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini extra content that we provided. Next month is responsibility. So we'll have something, whatever's current during that time, we'll relate it to responsibility. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Or I might dive back.
And we'll bring it back to you again. Until next time, this is Coolin' Out
and Labor.
Yes. /Labor.
Stay cool.
Stay cool.
You cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. We coolin' out. You cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. You cool, I'm cool. We coolin' out.